I'd like to call the Graham County Board of Education special call meeting July 27, 2020 to order. Mr. Moody, would you lead us in prayer before we get started?
Yes, sir. Dear merciful Lord, just thank you for this day, Lord. Thank you for your marvelous grace. Your Son who came and died and rose again for our sins. Pray those who don't know your grace, Lord, they'll come to know you. Thank you for our physical freedom that we have, Lord. Just thank you for the men and women of the military who's fought and died for that freedom. And just thank you for that as well. I just pray for today, Lord, that you'll just be with the board as they make this decision. It's a very important decision about the opening of schools. I just pray that you'll give them guidance and wisdom and understanding to make the decisions they need to make, Lord, as to the best, be in the best interest of our kids and our community. And Lord, just help them. And just we know that you will, Lord. Again, just thank you for all that you've done for us, Lord. Just be with us again for today. And everything we do, help us to do it to glorify you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the special call meeting July 14th?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Mr. Carringer, are you in favor?
Yes, it's Mark Carringer, and I'm in favor.
Thank you. I need a motion to approve the agenda today.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Go ahead, Mr. Carringer.
Yes, that would be, I'm in favor.
Ms. Knight, do we have any individuals, groups to address the Board of Education?
No, sir. Thank you.
The floor is now open for public comment period. Do I have a motion to close public comment period?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Go ahead and vote, Mr. Carringer.
This is Mark Carringer, and that is a yes.
Okay, reports and discussion items. Personnel,
There will be no personnel on the agenda today.
there will be no personnel. All right, Ms. Knight, return to school decision.
So on or about July 17th, Governor Cooper made the announcement that all schools in North Carolina will return to school under Plan B. We've had options of Plan A, which was a mild social distancing where everyone would return. Plan B, which is a more moderate social distancing option, and where parents would also have the option to have remote learning if that was their choice. And Plan C, which is a total remote learning option. So we were given the option as a school system to choose Plan B. With that, we could also choose Plan C, which used to be more restrictive. We just can't be less restrictive than Plan A. We don't have that option. We can be more restrictive than the governor's mandate. Plan B, Mr. Carringer, I'm trying to talk loud enough for you to hear me. Plan B involves some of the following general things: a reduced capacity of students in the school building to ensure that we can ensure 6 feet of distance that to be maintained when at all possible. It did say a 50% capacity of the campus, but that is since the ruling came out, that has been lifted to just reflect a 6 feet social distancing policy. Mask required unless there's an exception, someone is eating or engaged in a strenuous physical activity, although there is to be mask breaks throughout the day where there is a risk, the risk would be low. All students, according to the state and the guidelines of Graham County Schools, will be given reusable cloth masks to be utilized. We will additionally are mandated to do regular cleaning, additional deep cleaning, sanitizing facilities and buses. Required to do daily temperature and symptom screening of students and staff. I've already mentioned the social distancing to be used as protection in the school buildings and on buses. As a matter of fact, on the buses, we are, the requirement is 1 student per bus seat, unless there's a sibling in the seat with them, and that is everyone with masks on. Parents are, like I mentioned, have a choice to be offered remote online learning. I do want to pause to say, in March, when we were thrown into this, essentially overnight, many requirements and guidelines were not set up at all. And so it seemed to be a little less rigorous. I can promise that this year there will be rigor, there will be accountability, attendance will be taken if there is remote learning going on. Just like as if you were sitting in the classroom, curriculum will be very well defined, and there will be rubrics regarding what the grading will look like in participation, so that parents are aware of what's going on and students are aware that we can all be on the same page and have a better, across the state. This is, we were all thrown into it in March, but there has been ample time to plan for a better approach, so there will be a more structured, rigorous, and accountable approach to remote learning. So some of the other, just to let you know, some of the things that we have already got in place prior to you making the decision today. We have stickers to indicate the 6 feet social distancing that we'll be putting all over campus. We are looking at some form of plexiglass barriers. Already have several of those up in offices, cafeterias, some of the classrooms. Because we're already doing Jump Start, which is a remediation program for some students that are already on campus. So some plexiglass barriers, potentially some more. Temperature checks daily, symptom checklist. We will be looking at no assemblies or congregating events, those kind of things. We'll have to be very strategic about and probably won't have. Limitation on visitors to the school. There's hand sanitizing stations that will be placed routinely throughout the school system. We will also have water bottle stations and individual water bottles for students available, so that we will be making any use. All of our water fountains will be turned off, so that we won't have any germ spread there. Those are just some examples of the precautions that we'll have in place when school starts. We did a remote learning, or a return to school survey, which is just a poll to get an idea of what our community is looking at. We will have to, of course, get definite answers from every family. We had about a little less than 1,000 of 1,150 students, families participate in this. So this is not specific data, but this is general data. So generally, about 75% of our families looked at a face-to-face return to school option, that their student would be here in some capacity. 24% of families chose the remote instruction option, where the school system would be providing the remote instruction curriculum. And less than 1% of families chose to homeschool using their own curriculum and not being a part of the school system. So we used that information to work with our leadership team, which included all of our administrative staff, our child nutrition, transportation, maintenance, principals. We've taken many surveys and our many interviews with teachers and families and community members. So we've taken all that into account when we will present to you. So we gave parents options, some that have changed a little bit over time as far as feasibility, transportation being so limited. And I will pause to say this as well. We are requesting that all parents that are capable of and able to bring their students to school and pick them up, do so because of the transportation issue. On some of our largest buses, we can get 22 kids versus 54. And so some of our buses are very full every day. So that's a huge limitation for us when we look at what we can do. More so the limitation on buses than it is anywhere else, even in the classrooms. Child nutrition, probably looking at a limited number of students being able to eat in the cafeteria. Everyone else will have to file through, pick up their breakfast or lunch and eat in the classrooms. We're looking at teachers where kids particularly younger children that would rotate classrooms. Those teachers will try to rotate to them as much as possible so we don't have so much movement. But we do recognize that we have children and they need to have some movement. So we'll try to structure the day as best we can to make sure that we do that in a appropriate manner because children need to not be in one classroom all day with, we need to have a proper amount of breaks and rest during that time. So with that said, we will discuss with you in particular in closed session our plan, and then we'll plan to come back out and share as you make your decision in the last part of our meetings.
Do I have a motion to go into closed session?
So moved. Pursuant to the provisions of North Carolina General Statute 143-318-11A, 3 and 143-318-11C, I move that the Graham County Board of Education go into closed session to receive advice from M.L. Davis, attorney for the Graham County Board of Education, which advice comes within the purview of the attorney-client privilege. The advice will be general legal advice about legal issues or legal matters.
Do I have a second? Second. All in favor? Any opposed? Mr. Canninger, you in favor of that?
Yes.
We are now back in open session. Action items, return to school decision this night. Will you present it as best can?
Yes, so please understand that this will be a general discussion. We will be issuing details for all of this very soon. Since this is a new decision, we don't have all the details today. In general, this is our return to school decision. We will be following Plan B, which is moderate social distancing with an option of remote learning for those students who have chosen to or who will choose to. Like I said before, please know that if you choose remote learning, you will also be signing a contract, understanding the accountability of it, and there will be some things that you will have to face-to-face return for, like if there's a state assessment, those things that we'll have to take into consideration. This decision also will be, while we're under state of emergency under the pandemic, we will review this as often as the decision changes from the state level, but at least monthly. And please know that our plan is flexible and fluid and could change based on the board's decision or also the decision of the governor. And we, as far as the health with this, we are working with Graham County Health Department to advise us with any health issues related to the pandemic and how that might affect students or staff. So at this time, our plan for return to school would be our students in kindergarten through 3rd grade would return on Monday, Tuesday, remote day at home on Wednesday, then be here on Thursday or Friday. So there again, kindergarten through 3rd grade, 4 days per week, with Wednesday being a remote learning day for all of those students. Grades 4 through 8 will be on an A-B schedule, with cohort A being the students with the first half of the alphabet will be here on Mondays and Thursdays. Cohort B, the other 50% of the students, would attend school face-to-face on Tuesday and Friday, with Wednesday being a remote learning day for everyone. Grades 9 through 12, based on the survey results we have, that we don't have more than 75% of our students returning, based on the fact that many of our high school students are off campus anyway with Tri-County Community College classes, those students will return on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday to classes. They will return to classes that may not be their traditional classroom. A large class may be in an auditorium. A large class may be in the gym or the media center in order to maintain social distancing. And Wednesday will also be a remote day. So Wednesday will be a remote day from K through 12 for everyone. We'll also use remote days for additional cleaning from custodial staff, and for any opportunities to make up work and those, if other students do come in and test, that will be remote for everyone. Children with exceptional needs per their IEP and the severity of their learning challenges will be invited in to, based on their number of days, based on their academic challenges. So they may come to the regular schedule with everyone else, or they may come more often, depending on their additional educational or physical needs. At this time, just as a reminder, students, we will ask everyone that, all parents that are capable and able to bring their children to school and not use our transportation system. If you're able to do that, we would highly encourage that. The limitation with most of this is not our school campus, but our bus options. Remembering that we can only put one student per seat, and unless there's a sibling there, and then everyone will have to wear a mask on the bus. Discussing masks are the recommendation of the state governor. There will be times, like I said earlier, that there will be breaks from masks, where, when it's safe to do so, that you can take the mask off, but the recommendation will be to wear the mask in most instances. But back to transportation, if anybody can bring their kids, we appreciate that. And we may have to just know that there may have to be more than one load of kids. There may be first load and second load on some routes because of the density of some of the communities and how many children there will be riding the buses. So we will adjust the schedule as we start school, and there may be adjustments that will continue till we figure it out. So some of the things that we will be doing so that parents can be aware of some of the safety things that we'll be doing. There'll be temperature checks every day. We will be asking the questions regarding symptoms each day. We will have hand sanitizer, as a repeat from what I said earlier in the meeting, additional hand sanitizing stations. We will encourage and allow extra time for hand washing each day. We will have water bottles and water bottle filling stations available in lieu of any kind of
Like water fountain.
water fountain. Thank you. This is a lot to spit out. We will do our best to make sure that any kind of safety measures are adhered to here. We'll be able for questions. We will have to adjust this as we go, and we appreciate that everybody in the community, parents, staff, school board, media, everyone's working together to make this happen. We will make it happen. This is Graham County. We make things happen every day that other counties can't because we work together. And we look forward to the opportunity to see students. We thought that the best thing we can do is maintain good communication with our students, and we look forward to being able to reunite with them in some way.
Thank you, Ms. Knight. Do I have a motion to return to, on the return to school decision as presented by Ms. Knight?
So,
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Mr. Carringer, do you favor or oppose?
I am in favor of the motion.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Ms. Knight, announcements. I think that's all.
Our next meeting will have to be announced. We will not have our next regularly scheduled meeting on August 4th, but we look to probably have another special call meeting in a couple of weeks based on further guidelines and personnel needs.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do I have a second? All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you, Mr. Carringer.